Alright guys, I'm back and I'm here to show you today how to take a Savory Butcher half-pound hamburger patty, tastes like chopped steak, and turn it into a chicken fried steak with homemade gravy. Get ready to watch because we're going into my kitchen and doing it now. Alright, we're going to do something totally impromptu today because I was literally making something to eat for my son and I like to take these Savory Butcher half-pound chopped steak burgers and make chicken fried steak out of them. We throw some eggs on and gravy and stuff like that. And I'm like, I should totally make a video on this and just show you guys how I do it. So I kind of cleaned up a little bit and I'm going to show you how I make these. It's super simple, you guys, but it's just another way to enjoy Savory Butcher's awesome meat. So I've got a Savory Butcher half-pound pre-formed cloud beef patty. It's made out of chopped steak. It's really more like eating steak than it is burger. But I'm just going to kind of give her a little bit of form right here. And yes, for you keyboard warriors, I did wash my hands. All right. I'm gonna dredge it in flour. Got a little bit of flour on it. Then I've got a simple egg wash. It's just egg, some milk, a little bit of cream, because it's good and thick. And then I'm gonna go right over here into panko. Now you see the salt and pepper over there. I actually salt and peppered this a little bit before I got started, because I'm actually going to use a different seasoning once I go over here to the stove. So I think I'm just going to leave it sit right there in the panko, give my hands a quick rinse again. And behind me, I've got a stove. I didn't do anything crazy. I just put some canola oil in there. Got it heating up on medium. And because I flattened out, why did I do that, you guys? Well, I wanted to make it a little bit thinner on the cooking surface. These are half-pound burgers. So rather than flipping it repeatedly over and over and over again, which you still got to do a little bit, I just wanted to thin it down a little bit. So come on over here to the stove with me and I'll show you what I'm going to do. You ever go to a restaurant and you get chicken fried steak? Well, that's usually like a cube steak that they've ran through, or a steak they've ran through the cuber repeatedly. It's just sirloin that they've tenderized on down, ran through the cuber, but this is just as good, and I think better in a lot of ways, to be honest with you. And you know what? You know what goes good with chicken fried steak? A little bit of simple gravy. So I was thinking about it. I think I'm going to throw a quick gravy together. Might as well. I'll put this back here on this one. That way we can get a little bit of gravy. Now, gravy, you got to have a roux. So fortunately for me, I don't want to throw the canola oil in there, but like you've seen in some of my other videos where you can make homemade butter out of pure sweet cream, I have some handy. And this is a rosemary garlic and chive butter. So I'm going to use this over my skillet. I'm going to throw a ball in there. I'll let her start melting down. And that is going to be my fat content. And I'll just take some of this flour right here that I already have handy, and we'll make a quick gravy. So I'm not going to mess with this a whole lot. I'm going to let it develop a crust. Now if I put that over there, this camera's not going to be able to see it. You know what? Just the price you pay when you're showing people how to do some stuff. So get this. I'm going to turn the heat up here a little bit because I want to get this butter melting. I don't know if I want to time this out. These are so good. They're so simple, so easy. And it's just another fun way to mess with ground beef. And because these are already pre-formed, they've kind of already done a little bit of the work for you. So it's real easy to take them out, thaw them, and get them going. So we'll kind of chop this butter down here. Get this thing going. Put some heat on that. You know what? I'm not entirely convinced that that burner is the right one for me. I don't know that this over here, let's go like this. We're just going to get her heating up a bit. Now I want to watch this because this oil, it does not take much to develop crust. So we're going to flip her over just like that. And I'm going to add some of this here Canadian steak seasoning. There's a lot of different types out there, but I like this Canadian steak seasoning because it's a lot of salt, a lot of garlic, and it just brings out some good flavor. So I put it on there so as the heat comes back up through that crust, the moisture is going to grab it and kind of draw it down in there. When you're working with when you're working with homemade butter, it doesn't melt quite as quickly as that store-bought stuff that maybe has some weird little fillery things in there that shouldn't be in butter. But I'm gonna get this pan good and hot over here before I transfer back over to the other side. And I'll just take and feel as we go along. All right. We're getting a good sizzle on that. We'll put her back over here. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this flour that I already have, throw it in there. And we'll start getting that whisked around. Do a little bit of a scald on it, I guess. We're going to kind of do a country gravy. Normally I would do this in cast iron, but just for quick purposes, I just want to have a little gravy on this. Oh yeah, that roux's coming together nice. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper to it. How we doing down here? Oh, nice golden color. We're giving it another flip. We're gonna hit it with some more of this Canadian seasoning, Canadian steak seasoning. I love buying these things. If you watch some other videos, you know I'm always making and creating seasonings, but sometimes you just don't have time to go and think all that stuff out, and it's easy just to grab something. Maybe it's not as good, but it's still fun. All right, we get scald is coming on that. That's gonna time out just about right. Let's grab ourselves a little bit of cream. And we'll grab a little bit of milk. I don't need to go full cream. Gotta watch my Earlish figure. Now I'm gonna start with cream. Get this going. This is gonna thicken really fast. I'm gonna use that like a base. That'll come up. Well, I just want to get that good mixed in. Then I'll just add a little bit of milk. So I don't want to get too crazy with it. And you know what? I like pepper in my gravy. I evidently like gravy on my stove, so that's working out fine for me too. We're gonna have a little more of this cracked pepper in here. And a little bit more salt. I'm gonna let that kind of start bubbling a little bit. Get a little thicker. My chicken fried steak is looking good. This will thicken up right quick like. Alright, this I'm going to pull off over here. I'm going to let it rest for a second. I'm going to pull it over onto a plate and we'll let her sit there. This I'm going to finish off on this burner. It's a little bigger burner. See how that's thickening up, you guys? Look at that. I don't want to go glue with it, so I'm going to add a little more milk. And if you like gravy, I mean this, you can do it with water and red wine, whatever. You always kind of start with a basic roux. You just want to keep moving it so it doesn't get too lumpy on you. You want to make sure it's good and smooth. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for just a second because I want to throw that on a plate, get it resting. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. That is going to be so good. All right, let's just finish off our gravy here. Starting to get that bubbling up towards the edge. Thickening up nice. You can throw in some onions, you can just throw in green onions, whatever you want. A little paprika. A little paprika has some nice color to it, but I'm not trying to get too crazy with this. I'll probably throw this on there and maybe throw a couple eggs in. And breakfast will be served. Let's see where we're at. Nice. That is just right. Let's take and put a little bit of that gravy right across there. Bam! And I got some left for this one too. All right, you guys. That is how I take a Savory Butcher half-pound hamburger patty, turn it into an awesome chicken fried steak with a little bit of gravy. Super simple, easy to do at home. Didn't take long. You want to throw some eggs in here, some fresh fruit, you got yourself breakfast. You want to make your gravy with red wine, some water, some brownie stuff, brownie seasoning. Actually, right here, if you use Kitchen Bouquet, you're changing that whole gravy. Now you're going into a brown gravy, but that's another video for another time. I'm hungry. I just wanted to show you guys how I do it. Nice, simple, easy. Savory Butcher. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe down below. I'll see you next time on Earl's Kitchen. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.